When I was very young, there always came that first mild weather day after the winter when I would simply stop wearing shoes and socks and go barefoot for the rest of the summer and into the fall. And a lot of other people my age did the same thing for one simple reason. It just felt better. But as I got older, I started being criticized and made fun of for going barefoot. And why is that? Well, for some reason, it developed a negative image, sort of a stigma. And there are two reasons that I can think of for this. One of them is class prejudice. People looked down on people going barefoot because it was assumed that people who went barefoot a lot couldn't afford shoes. Well, that's just plain ridiculous, isn't it? You see barefoot celebrities all over the place. People of all classes go barefoot quite often. So the class prejudice is really kind of ridiculous. Now, another issue with people going barefoot is a lot of people seem to think it is unsanitary. Unsanitary how? The only risk is to the barefoot person. If they happen to step on a nail or injure their foot or have an open wound, then they could possibly get an infectious disease. And if you go barefoot in certain moist, shady places, in that case, there is a potential for ringworm, but that really doesn't happen very often. The only sanitary risk to people going barefoot is to the barefoot person. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm an extremist about going barefoot. There are plenty of places that you do need proper footwear. In the outdoors, that would be places with rough or rocky terrain or desert environments like we have in the Southwest, places where there might be dangerous wildlife. You need proper footwear there. And there are many other places. Most formal occasions, church, medical visits, banks, and certain types of businesses. There are also certain types of work environments where you definitely wouldn't want to go barefoot. Warehouses, scrap yards, factories, meat processing plants. Those would not be safe places at all to go barefoot. But a lot of places are very safe to go barefoot, and you can and should there. I probably wouldn't go barefoot to the local shopping mall. I'd probably wear flip-flops there because, for the simple reason, I don't want to get into an argument about it. Even though there really is no risk and no problem with it, some people don't like that, and it's not something that I want to get into an issue with people about. But there are plenty of places where it's perfectly safe and perfectly okay to go barefoot, as I am right now here in this fine carpeted room, and I do prefer carpeting over other floor coverings. It just plain feels better not to have your feet in socks and shoes all the time, especially during the hot weather part of the year. And so I've started doing it a lot more. I'll take barefoot trips to the local convenience store. It never seems to be a problem there. I definitely would wear shoes in scrap yards, factories, warehouses, formal events, church, medical offices, bank visits, court. If you ever had to go to court, you'd want to wear shoes there. But there are a lot of places where it simply isn't necessary. There's no class issue because people of all classes go barefoot. There is usually no sanitary issue. The only sanitary issue would be if you were barefoot and got injured or had an open wound, then you could possibly get infected. But the chances of infecting another person are just minuscule. So there are a lot of places where it's perfectly safe, and I think a good idea just to be barefoot. And I am, a lot. And in places where it's going to be an issue or cause controversy, I'll wear flip-flops. But, more formal occasions, church, places like that, I'll wear shoes. But this stigma against going barefoot is really kind of ridiculous. Where there is no safety issue, where it's not completely inappropriate, there's no reason that you shouldn't go without shoes in mild weather, where it is safe and where it is not too formal. So, let's stop being so uptight about shoes and go barefoot a lot more. If you do that, you'll be glad you did.